Hi! In this video, I'll be showing you all the smartware that come in the Cubit kits and explaining what they do and how they can be used.
So first, we should probably talk about the Cubit controller. This is the most important piece when working on Cubit, as it is the brains of the whole setup. Each Cubit controller has one button on it towards the bottom. You can use this button in your programming, such as to activate certain parts of the program. Each controller also has an LED light within the middle recess that you can control in your programs, like changing its color or making it flash. The controller has 6 universal ports, which allow you to connect the controller to all the different smartware via a cable. Then, when you send it a program, it stores it in memory, meaning that the program can then be loaded from the controller when you connect it to Workshop again. The smartware that you need to connect the controller to a computer is a USB to JST block. This piece allows you to plug the controller into any computer with a USB port on it. It also allows you to turn on the controller in a remote area if you have a portable USB battery. The port on it is here. The next piece of smartware is the full-color 10 LED smartware. This piece is a strip of 10 LED lights. The strip is slightly flexible, giving you some versatility in how you use it. And using Workshop, you can control the color of each individual LED light on the strip. This allows you to affect as many or as few lights as you want, all at the same time. You can also change the color of the lights to any color you want. The port is located here. This piece is called the buzzer smartware. It produces sounds that you can modify and control in Workshop. The buzzer can make one beep, a series of beeps, and songs and tunes. You have control over the tempo, the key, and the note being played. The sound comes from the small opening on the front of the smartware, which allows you to cover or amplify the sound as you see fit. The port is located here. Next is the servo motor. This is a simple motor with a small range of movement of about 190 degrees. The shaft in the center rotates around, giving you the ability to move small objects, press buttons, or even pull on levers within your projects. Workshop allows you to determine how fast or slow the motor moves, and in what direction or what position. The port is here on the small extension. Similar to the servo motor is the DC motor. This motor has a slightly different shape, and its main shaft can turn completely around. This makes it good for rotating wheels, which is why the DC motor is usually paired with the wheel accessory in the racer kit. The port is here on the extension, same as the servo motor. This piece of smartware is known as the distance sensor, sometimes called the ultrasonic distance sensor. While these bits on the front do look like speakers for sound, they actually are used to emit a high-pitched frequency, which the sensor can detect as it bounces back in order to determine how far away objects are. It's a lot like how a bat uses sonar to locate prey and move around. This smartware can be used to move around the Cubit racer by making sure it doesn't bump into things, or just to determine if something has gotten too close to your project. The port is here on the back. The light sensor is just what it sounds like. It detects how much or how little light there is. This can be used to trigger actions like if a light is turned on, or you can just log the data that is gathered by the sensor to find out light levels throughout a set period of time. The small opening on the top of the smartware is where the actual sensor is, so make sure that part isn't covered up when you're setting up your projects. The port is here on the front. The potentiometer smartware, also known as the dial, is just a small dial that you can rotate to adjust things within your program, like how many lights are lit up or how fast the buzzer beeps. The potentiometer only turns so far, and it won't turn all the way around like most volume dials. It's a very useful way to get your input affecting the program without having to do anything super complex. The port is on the very bottom of the piece. Next is the temperature sensor. Like the light sensor, the temperature sensor is pretty self-explanatory. The smartware can determine how hot or cold it is in the surrounding area. You can use this to change things in your program if it gets too hot or cold, or you can use it to log the data the sensor collects over a set period of time. The actual sensor is the part right here that sticks out of the base, so be careful not to damage it when you're setting up your projects. The port is all the way on the bottom of the piece. Now we're getting into the more complex pieces of smartware. This is the 9-sensor array, also known as the 9-axis IMU. This piece is able to determine what its orientation is in 3-dimensional space, and how fast or slow it's going within that space. The port is on the front face of the smartware. The last smartware piece is the expander. This piece looks very similar to the Cubit controller, but it doesn't have the same capabilities. Its main use is to expand the number of ports you have access to. For the average program, the 6 ports on the controller is fine, but if you want to make more complicated and intense programs, you may want more ports for more smartware. If so, just connect the expander to the controller with a cable as normal, and then you can use all the new ports on the expander to plug in more smartware. Now we get to the accessories for the Cubit Smartware pieces. First is the rechargeable battery pack. This accessory gives you a way to turn on the Cubit controller remotely without needing to keep it plugged into your computer to use it. Just connect the controller to the battery using the USB to JST plug. Make sure to keep it charged when you aren't using it so that it always has a charge when you do want to use it. The next accessory is the basic Cubit cables. These blue cables allow you to connect all the pieces to the Cubit controller. And they're universal and plug into any smartware, so if you need to get them replaced, you can rest assured that they will always work with your pieces. When you plug them into the ports, make sure the prongs on one side line up with the openings in the ports. If it doesn't click into place easily, don't try and force it. Next is the wall adapter accessory. This allows you to keep the Cubit controller plugged in and turned on as long as you want, as long as there is an electrical socket nearby. The wall adapter already has a JST cable end, so you don't need to use the USB to JST to use it. Just plug it in directly to the controller. Lastly, we come to the Bluetooth USB adapter. Not all computers can natively connect to Bluetooth wirelessly. Some require you to plug in the Bluetooth adapter before you can connect to the Cubit controller over far distances. This accessory is just so that you can connect to the Cubit via Bluetooth if you would like, and if your computer doesn't allow it normally. With that was all the pieces that are currently available. Hopefully this video helped you to see how you can use these pieces and what they do. We've also got individual videos for each piece of smartware that go more in-depth and show you how to make a small program with them if you want more help. Stay tuned for our next video, which will show you how to navigate in Workshop and what all the menus and blocks do.